plaintiff, Chastity Lawrence, says the defendant dated her mother, and she claims he was a manipulative liar. Chastity claims while the three of them lived together, the defendant brought prostitutes to their home while her mother was out. And he also hit on Chastity. She's suing him today for a stolen van. Defendant Jose Rivera Sr. says Chastity's mother is a recovering alcoholic and a heroin addict. And while they were together, she was arrested for prostitution. Jose claims Chastity gave him the van that she's suing for today, and he's countersuing for the repairs.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Well, I met Mr. Jose back in 2005 when him and my mom was dating. They've been dating off and on for about 10, 11 years. I didn't really get to know Mr. Jose until we moved in with him back in 2011. Mr. Jose is a very manipulative person. He's a liar, and he's very mean and disrespectful to women. He used to bring prostitutes in and out the house once my mom leave. He'll make flirtatious jokes towards me. He'll call us racial names, like call her Shaniqua and me Bonquisha, and that's very disrespectful. And he'll also just like make passes towards me. He also hooked up with my cousin to have my mom back. Yes.
Your mother knows about those passes?
Yeah, that's why they're not together now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sir?
Judge, this is total lie. I've never made any passes at her. She was never with me in 2005. In 2005, I was still with my wife. My wife died in 2006. Her mother and I got together in 2007. Her mother was with me, and so was Chastity, from 2007 to 2012. In 2011, her mother was picked up for prostitution. I believe that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Her mother's an alcoholic, recovering alcoholic, heroin user, that she told me herself she was an ex-heroin user here in Illinois when she came to Wisconsin. I took her in.
Are you a rehab clinic?
No, sir.
So why are you taking a person in who was a drug and alcohol addicted prostitute?
I didn't say she wasn't a prostitute at that time.
All right, drug and alcohol addict. Drug and alcohol addict. You said she was that?
Yes.
Yeah. So, are you a rehab clinic, or you just love dope fiends and alcoholics?
I guess so, yes.
You guess so. All right, well then say it. Say, I love dope fiends and alkies.
I do not. No.
Huh?
No,
Why
I don't.
won't you say it? You just said you guess so. If she was a drug-addicted alcoholic when she moved in with you and you began a relationship, that must be what you like.
We didn't begin a relationship.
How long after you found out she was a prostitute did you break up? So you like that too? Go ahead, man. What are you suing him for? What are you suing him for?
Well, in March, the end of March of 2016, I purchased a van from this man. We was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I purchased a van from him. A week after having a van, we drove the van to Chicago, and my landlord, he's a mechanic, so I had him to look at the van, and he told me that the radiator would be going out soon, so when I get back home, find a mechanic to look at it because he wouldn't have time to look at it. So I went to the only mechanic I know in Milwaukee. I just moved there. I went to him. He told me that due to the weather, that he wouldn't be able to do it because he has problems with his leg. So I said, okay, fine. A few weeks later, I moved to Chicago because I had got 2 job offers paying me more than I got in Milwaukee. So he left the van. He let me leave the van there. So probably like towards the middle end of April, I called him about the van, and he told me that I would have to come pick up the van soon because he's gonna move it off his property and it's gonna get towed. I said, okay, fine. I got in touch with a tow truck person and I paid them, I have the evidence, I paid them $250 to drive me from Chicago to Milwaukee to pick up the van. When we got there, he told me that he pushed the van onto a lot, it got gated up and towed.
Okay, let me see what you have there regarding a tow truck.
Okay.
And when you've asked, he said that, the impound has it?
Yeah, he told me he pushed it onto a lot. The lot got bought, and then they put a gate around it, and that they towed it.
Mm-hmm. Had you given him any money to repair?
He told me that he couldn't fix it, so I didn't give him any money to fix it because he told me that he couldn't because his leg.
So you were leaving it there to store it?
Yeah.
Sir, let me hear from you.
Well, the van was on my lot in March. In around the end of March.
How did it end up there? Why was it there?
Her boyfriend and my son, Anthony, brought the van to my property.
Get fixed?
After she gave me the van, I fixed the van on my own.
Why did she give it to you?
She couldn't bring it down to Chicago. She had moved already to Chicago. I was living in Wisconsin. I got in touch with her. I said, what are you going to do with the van? She says, Pop, you can keep it.
I never
It's
said
yours.
that.
I said, what about the title? She said, when I come back to
When
Milwaukee,
she left and moved to Chicago, where was the van?
at my place.
She brought it over there for what reason?
For diagnostics, a second diagnostics on the van because she had it at a shop before my place, and they told her that it needed an engine. So she wanted a second opinion. My son and I checked out the van. The van needed a head gasket.
And how much did you tell her it would
My
cost?
son quoted her $700 or more
Okay.
to do the one head gasket.
All right. And did he do it? Or
No,
you?
he didn't.
Why?
Because she didn't have any funds for it. She couldn't
What?
afford it. She didn't have the funds for it. She could not
Okay,
afford
so
it.
when you all told her it would be $700, what was her response?
She just put us on hold. Nothing else
She
was
just
said.
put the phone on hold?
No, she left the van there. It was actually
No,
on
you
hold
usually
waiting.
say something. When you go to someone and say, hey, would you check this out? I need it fixed. You say, well, this is how much it's going to cost you for me to fix it. They then give you a response. They say either fix it, hold it there, or don't fix it. You say, she just put me on hold. Didn't give you an answer.
Because she was talking to my son at that time. in
God,
regards to the van.
put both y'all on hold.
Right.
At the same time.
Basically,
What kind of phone
yes,
was
because
that?
we were waiting for her decision.
What type of phone was
We're
that?
just waiting for her decision, Your Honor. That's what I mean by she put us on hold. We were just waiting for her decision.
He used to bring prostitutes in and out the house once my mom leave. He'll make flirtatious jokes towards me. He'll call us racial names, like call her Shaniqua and me Bonquisha.
Plaintiff Chastity Lawrence says while the defendant was dating her mother, he brought prostitutes home and hit on Chastity.
And how long did you wait for that decision?
About a month and a half.
Okay, so you never called her back for a month and a half?
Not that I can recall, no. I had other customer cars to work on at that time.
Oh, okay.
She's like a stepdaughter to me. So I knew
Right,
she was going
and
to be
that's
around
why,
eventually.
and that's why if she was like a stepdaughter to you, I don't know why you would allow something to happen and cause her an $1,800 loss.
The van is still at the property. It's running now. They didn't run before. I fixed it all up, and it's obvious they see me driving the van. Now they want it back for free.
Okay, so you fixed it up?
Yes, sir.
And you have it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. What's your counterclaim for?
The labor I put into the van.
What you want the labor for? It's yours now. $1,800 is your judgment. You just bought your van. $1,800 for you. Your claim is dismissed because it's yours. Have a good day.
He lied. He stole
That's
my
what you
van.
do.
He
That's
fixed
what
it
you
behind
do,
my
sir.
back
That's what
and
you
then
do.
tried
I'm
to
going to
take
give you
my
the police
van.
report when you said you gave me the van.
No, I never
did
gave
not.
you the van.
It's on the police
We
report.
did not. You came out
If you
lying,
had-
trying to
I put an
punch on
engine
me,
in the
tell me I was
van.
the-
After you told you couldn't
prostituted.
fit it.
I never
You got a
prostituted.
you
Well,
got
then that's what I said.
record.
That's what I
There's
said.
a record
I
in
got my
Wisconsin that
certificate.
says